If you're thinking about getting a personal loan this year, there are a certain set of mistakes that you need to really avoid, and those mistakes can really cost you lots of money. I mean, lots of money. I mean, 4 digits, 5 digits in APR, but also in fees. Okay, so it's important to really pay attention to a few things when you are thinking about applying for a uh, a personal loan. The first mistake I want you to really think about is the amount of money you're asking for. So there is a mistake that I've seen a lot of people do over the years, over 20 years, 30 years. And that mistake is you're taking out a longer or larger loan than necessary. Let me first talk about the longer loan. Longer loans means that you're basically going for a 7 years repayment window as opposed to 5 years or as opposed to 3 years. Even though you know that you have the possibility to pay the loan within 3 years, you're still comfortable. You're still comfortable asking the lender to give you 7 years or 10 years because the monthly payment is lower. That's a big mistake. If you have the possibility to actually pay the loan within a shorter repayment window, do so. Okay, if you can really repay the loan within 3 years, pay it within 3 years. If you have to pay it within 5 years, pay within 5 years. Simply because the lender is giving you the possibility to pay the loan within 10 years doesn't mean you have to really take that bait. No, the lender is actually a business person. If you were to ask me, the lender wants to make more money because the longer repayment window, the more interest they charge in the first place. Okay, because the APR percentage was can still remain the same, but if you are applying that APR over a certain period, yeah, you're actually making more money in revenue, interest revenue. So for the lender, this is really a bonanza, really, to really go for that kind of strategy. Same thing if you are asking for a larger loan than necessary. Let's say you only want 10 grand, but the lender wants you to say, you know what, we can give you 20 grand. And you're like, okay, that's free money. But no, this is not free money. This is actually money you have to pay interest on, but also money you have to repay back. That you have to pay back, okay? So don't actually apply for a larger loan or longer loan than you need. You just want to really make sure that you're getting the right amount of loan, and that can really save you lots of money in the long run. Another personal loan mistake that could cost you tons of money, actually has to do with the type of lender you reach out to. See, the thing is, if you are looking for a personal loan, you have to really understand that you have literally thousands of lenders out there to really serve you. Okay, you have traditional banks, you have traditional lenders such as banks and credit unions, you have online lenders, you have alternative lenders, you have loan marketplaces, you have loan facilitators, you have loan middlemen, and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, you also have online lenders. Okay, you also have alternative lenders. So you got a lot of lenders vying for your business. Your business is precious, okay? Because they know if they actually lend to you, they will make money. I mean, can you imagine that you have a business model where you are actually getting 17 to 20 or 25% revenue? That's a huge margin, 25%. If the APR is 25%, that's really huge. The thing is that some lenders are even charging you origination fees on top of the already high APR. So what I'm trying to say here is what the market, the potential is huge out there. So you got to really do your research. You got to shop around for the best offers. And the way you shop around for the best offers is to actually either go through a loan marketplace or to systematically go for a soft pull. So if you're looking for a loan, a personal loan, I don't care the amount that you want, 10,000, 1,000, 100 grand, whatever, you constantly want to go for a soft pull. You want to go for a pre-qualification process. You want the lender to pre-qualify you, to give you a set of offers, and based on those offers, you can see what's good for you or what's not. Okay, so please shop around for the best offers. Don't just jump on the first offer that comes your way. And again, I don't care how bad your credit is, because sometimes if you have bad credit, you could be desperate, and you could be like, you know what, everybody's denying me, and this is the first lender that actually has approved me, so I'm just going to go with them. But no, you have lots of lenders out there, so take your time and pay attention to their offers before making a decision. If you want to, another personal loan mistake that could cost you money big time is actually not considering your credit score. Now, this might seem a little easier to really even to grasp, but a lot of borrowers make that mistake. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to have $50,000, right? And you have bad credit or you have fair credit. Big question is if you're sure that your credit score is fair or bad, that just limits right away the lenders that will do business with you. So if you want $50,000, you can only go with the likes of Avon, Prosper, Upgrade, or Upstart, among others. Okay, you cannot really reach out to Lightstream. You can't reach out to Lightstream because Lightstream wants you to have at least good credit or even excellent credit to do business with you. Of course, Lightstream, among others, will give you up to $100,000. But if you have poor credit, you're not going to go far with them. So what I'm trying to say is what? If you know your credit score, you know which game you have to play. You know which sector, which lender sector you want to reach out to. There are some lenders. There's some lenders are very very happy dealing with folks with low credit score. Some lenders are very happy dealing with folks with fair credit score. So you just gotta find out your niche and reach out to customers. I mean customers. Find out lenders in your niche. If you have any question on that aspect of things, let me know in the comment section. Let me know where you are at, the city and state. City. Sorry about that. You let me know the city and states where you are at. Let me drink some water here. Thank you. So I was actually saying that you have to really get the best lenders for you based on the location where you are at. Okay, the location is going to dictate. I mean, now some lenders are actually available online, so it doesn't matter if you are in California or New York; they'll still take care of you. But some lenders are actually more localized, so it's important to know anyway what's available in your city and state. Okay, so make sure that you consider your credit score before applying. You want to check your credit score and make sure that you have the latest credit score. I mean, credit scores change all the time, so you want to have the latest before applying. Another personal loan big mistake that could cost you tons of money is actually overlooking fees and penalties. Okay, now those fees and penalties can actually account for, say, 15% give or take of the loan that you get. In other words, if you apply for $1,000 and you get a let's just make it easier. If you apply for $10,000 and you're getting a 15% in fees, you're only getting $850. You're only getting $8,500, in your bank account, but you still are responsible for paying interest for repaying the full 10 grand. Okay. Now the thing is that some lenders, I mean, I call them sneaky lenders. They will really they will include fees during the underwriting process because they know that they're actually interacting with quote unquote desperate borrowers. So because those borrowers are quote unquote desperate, they'll just charge like crazy amount of fees. Okay, and by fees, I'm talking about origination fees, for instance. You have late payment fees. You have application fees. You have prepayment penalties. You have all kinds of fees, a large constellation of fees to really account for. So, for instance, the origination fees can go anywhere from 1% all the way to 10, in some cases, even 12%. That's a lot of cash. I mean, that's a lot of cash just to pay in fees, okay? But hey, listen, this is how the business model works in certain industry. You also have late payment fees. So if you miss the due date or submit your payment after the grace period, for instance, you will be responsible for a late payment fee. Okay, so this is something to really think about. Now, one thing I want to say is that overall, the best way to save money on fees is to actually ask all questions beforehand. You want to ask as many questions as possible during the what I call the pre-qualification process, during the due diligence process. When you reach out to the company, when you actually ask them questions, make sure you pay attention to those fees. Otherwise, you could be losing lots of money, especially if the loan amount itself is already large. Another personal loan mistake that could cost you money big time this year is actually not reading the fine print. See, the thing is, if you're really rushing to sign on the dotted line, that's really detrimental. This could be detrimental to your budget over time because buried in the fine prints are a few clauses, a few conditions, a few terms and conditions that you really want to know about. That really will govern your personal loan. Okay, especially if you get a loan from an alternative lender, you got to be careful. I mean, if you're getting a loan from a bank, okay, to a certain extent, you are fine, because alternative lenders don't have the same level of regulatory scrutiny that banks and credit unions have, for instance. So if you're doing business with a legit bank or a legit credit union, you can be sure they're not going to quote unquote scam the hell out of you, right? But if you were to deal with a payday loan, a payday lender, or you were dealing with an alternative lender that has no that's not affiliated with FDIC or the NCUA, for instance, then you really got to be careful. Okay, and one thing you also need to understand is that if you go through a loan process, the lender is going to send you closing documents electronically or hand them to you for review. Take the time to review everything. Okay, pay attention to some clauses, pay attention to dates, pay attention to numbers, pay attention to the percentage and interest they're charging, pay attention to APR. Okay, a fine print document in general includes information about interest calculation, acceptable payment methods, due dates, and the fee schedule. So you have all kinds of data to really think about and make sure that you also comply with the terms and conditions. And you must agree to the terms and conditions and sign the documents before the loan proceeds are sent to you. So depending on the lender, there may be several pages to review and sign to close the loan. But if you sign without reading, you risk actually incurring unnecessary fees and penalties. Another personal loan mistake that could cost you money is actually this one is pretty logical, pretty obvious. It's actually lying on your loan application. Never, never, ever, ever, ever lie on your loan application. I'm not just this is just quote unquote immoral, but it's also against the law. This could actually land you in jail. Okay, and honestly, why would you lie on a personal loan application if you want the lender to actually trust you? That's really bad. I mean, that's really bad. Not just on a loan application, on everything that you want to really, on everything that you like on your resume, for instance. You do not want to really start a relationship with an employer or a lender by lying. Okay, so this is kind of important. And one thing I want to say is that, as a general rule, you want to avoid providing false information when you apply for a personal loan. Otherwise, you could face serious financial and legal consequences. And this is applicable throughout the term of the loan, because you could actually be approved, but if the lender finds out 6 months from now, or 1 year from now, or even 5 years from now that you lied on your application, they could actually retract the contract and get their money back. Okay, this is totally possible. The law allows that, and you do not want to really be in again. You do not want to be in a situation where you're having a lawsuit because you lied on a loan application. Okay, so this is important. So review your loan application in its entirety before submitting to actually confirm that basically the content is accurate and can be substantiated with documentation. I mean, you have the proper paperwork to substantiate whatever you put on the loan application. So it may be tempting to overstate figures or omit information to secure the funding you need, but your actions could backfire big time. Again, if the lender finds out, you are really letting yourself in trouble. Okay. So if the lender finds out, for instance, that you falsified your application, they could cancel your loan. That's what I said a little earlier. And they can demand repayment for the total amount owed immediately. There are also more severe outcomes, like lawsuits that result in legal fees and monetary policies. And in extreme cases tied to identity theft and other serious criminal offenses, you could be arrested and sentenced to a jail time. So, it's really not worth it actually to go that far just for a simple loan, actually. The last personal loan mistake that you want to avoid, because it will cost you money. Okay. And this is an easy one. Don't fall behind on payments. Never fall behind on payments. And basically, the way you plan your payments actually has to do with the very first mistake that I spoke about, which is taking out a longer or larger loan amount. Okay, so don't fall behind on payments. If you go for the right size, the right loan amount, you are comfortable paying it. But if you get, let's say, a large loan amount, if something were to happen to you, if let's say you lost your job, or you lost part of your revenue, for instance, it could be harder to actually keep up with the payments, right? If the payments are already high, so that's important. So you want to prioritize making on-time payments every time to avoid late fees, or also because if you miss your payments, it's not just the late fees that I worry about. If I were you, I should worry more about my credit score, because the hit to my credit score will be more damageable, it will be harder. Okay, you could lose 20 points, you could lose 100 points. Okay, and it's not just the abrupt drop in your credit score, but also the tarnished reputation. In other words, lenders will see that you actually missed payments in the past, and they're going to really account for that info while reviewing your future applications. So if you are more than 30 days late, your lender will consider your loan in default and report your delinquency to the credit bureaus. They will show up on your credit report for future potential lenders, landlords, and insurance companies to see. The thing is that when your credit score takes a hit, it's not just for lenders to actually analyze. You have also landlords. Landlords nowadays, they are checking systematically credit scores before actually giving an apartment to a tenant. Okay, same thing for insurance companies. So most lenders also assess late payment penalties that can add up quickly, but you can avoid these costly fees and protect your credit by enrolling in autopay or using bill pay if it's offered by your financial institution. So those are things to really think about big time. So in conclusion to this conversation, I share with you seven personal loan mistakes that could cost you money. So number one, taking out a longer or larger loan than expected or than needed. Number two, not shopping around. Number three, not considering your FICO score. Number four, overlooking fees and penalties. Number five, not reading the fine print. Number six, lying on your loan application. And number seven, falling behind on payments. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.